In part 3 of our 4 series section on Notability, I'm going to talk about note-taking. If you open up Notability and you notice on the top right-hand corner you have an icon of a paper and pencil, and what that does is to create for you a brand new clean notebook piece of paper, and it tells you at the top the date and it gives you the title note. I'm going to change the name of mine to water because we're going to be talking about water today in class. Now, remember you have the same options that you did when you were annotating. So I can type whatever I want here. I can change the font and the color of whatever it is that I'm doing. And I can also use my highlighter pen. I can use my writing tools, and I can write. All those features still exist. But where we left off last time was in this plus menu. There's quite a few features here that have some great potential. We talked about the text tool. The handwriting tool works similarly. You can choose the color of your note. You can choose the format if you want lines. Let's choose a color here. Let's write with green. And so I can write whatever I want to write there. And when I'm finished, I can go ahead and move that. I can resize it. I can add a caption to it. Same features that I had with the text tool. So they work very similarly. Another feature is this photo. I can take any picture that is in my camera roll on my iPad and I can insert it into my note. I have the same features as with the text and with the handwriting that I can resize it. I can add a caption here. Let's call this the water cycle. I can also give it a name there. I can also move it anywhere I'd like by clicking because it is an object. So that's a neat feature. If you have an iPad 2 or 3, you also have the option to take a photo and insert it. Another neat feature is called Figure. When you go to Figure, you have this little squiggly line, which is kind of like a scribble. So I can write whatever I want to write. If I come back to the menu bar, I have the crossbar here is actually the select tool, so I can move it wherever I'd like on my page. And then I can create lines, boxes, circles, triangles, and text. So let's make some circles here. I'm going to choose the fill color to be blue. The stroke color is black, but I don't want my circle outlined in black, so I'm going to change that to be the same color. So now I have a blue stroke and a blue fill. And let's make 2 of these. I'm going to go back and change that so that my fill and my stroke are now red, and now I'm going to make one of those circles. Now I can always go back to my select tool and line this up exactly how I want it lined up. I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to make both the fill black and the stroke black, and now I'm going to connect. And then lastly, you have the option to put in text. So I can put in hydrogen here, and I can move that to wherever I want. I can clearly do that again. So you get the idea of what we're doing here, creating a water molecule. And I can now get an oxygen in there. And we'll move that over here. Now, I'm finished, but if I selected done right now, it would take everything on my page, including the word scribble, and I don't want scribble. So I'm going to click up here to my crop tool, and I'm only going to select the part of my drawing that I've created that I want. And now I'm going to say done. Click where I want to insert this image, and now I have my water molecule modeled for me in my notes page. Again, it's an object. I can move it, shrink it, resize it, whatever I'd like. So that is a neat feature. And then lastly, I'd like to show you the web clip. The web clip allows you to go to Google or to Wikipedia. And I'm going to type here water properties. And let's just do a search here. We can get to the USGS Water School, and we can actually click on something here. I can go ahead and pinch to increase the size. Let's go to heat capacity. And let's say we were talking about in class, and I wanted to refer back to that site. The neat thing about it is if you look at the top of the screen, I'm still in Notability. Even though I'm able in my browser to move around, I'm going to go ahead and click on Done. wherever I select, it's going to paste that browser, and again, I can move it, resize it, reshape it. Later that night, when I come back and I want to study that, I can click on Browse, and I can go to that exact page, and I can click on the links, and therefore it's a great, great study tool. Now, there's one other feature that I have not talked about, and that's called the Record feature. Notice up here there's a microphone. If I select this microphone, it's going to start recording what I'm saying. Now, you might want to take a few minutes to talk to your students about the rules for using the recording feature. You might not want your students to record you unless you give them permission. So just be aware that they have that capability. I would caution the students that when they start recording everything you say, they are going to be eating up an awful lot of space on their iPads. So I'm not sure that that's really something that they'd want to do. So now that we're all finished with our note, if I come back, I see that this is my unfiled list, and here's my water notes from today. What I can do is to go to my science category, and I can select my water notes, and put it into my note subject. So now if I click here, I can see the notes, and that's where I can go tonight to study. So thank you for watching part 3, and part 4 is coming up next.